So I think most people who are interested in awakening are mostly people who were taught to, you know, always do more, always become something, always understand something new, become more intelligent, stronger, better. And I was one of them. And the reason why we are trying to become more and better is because we think that we get happiness from our achievements. But it's always just temporary. It's never really satisfying. And we're looking for that infinite fountain of joy and happiness. But it cannot be attained through effort. Then we are looking for something called awakening or enlightenment. And we listen to all these non-dual teachings or radical non-dual teachings. You know, you're not even there. Or to Muji or Eckhart Tolle, and all these teachings are good. But when the mind is listening to those teachings, the same identified mind is listening to those teachings, then the mind is turning those teachings into more efforts, something that you have to understand also. Some new knowledge you have to carry around all the time. Then the ego gets refined, and now it thinks it's a spiritual or even an enlightened ego. When in reality, it's all about giving up. It's all about letting it be, letting go, of that seeking energy, seeking identity, the one that constantly wants to get something and hope that it will, achieve happiness. There are two ways in which we can meditate. One way is when we are forcing meditation and we try to become a better meditator, become better and better. And hopefully one day we'll get that aha moment where everything makes sense and we're constantly happy. That's the ego's meditation, in my opinion. Real meditation is when you don't even try. You don't even use techniques anymore. You just sit down or lay down, or you just walk or whatever. You just are. And that's it. No goal. Like, really, you're just sitting down for no reason. For no reason. You're not practicing meditation, you practice vacation. Meditation shouldn't be a practice, in my opinion. It's just vacation. It's just being who you are without trying to become something, without trying to understand something. In fact, if you think you know something, just let go of that knowledge. And for some people that's very freeing to know that they can just sit down and be, and for other people it's a catastrophe, because when you don't use methods or don't try to understand something, then you're basically confronting all your demons. And by demons I mean identifications, aka thoughts and feelings. And we have learned all these methods to get rid of thoughts, how to become silent, just focus on the breath, just do this with the feelings or the sensations. Don't look at feelings as if they really have a meaning, just look at them as if they are sensations, all these techniques. But one day you get tired and you just give up and you let it be as it is. So when feelings and thoughts appear, they're just here. So what? So it hurts. They tell you that you're not good enough, that you are, they just give you that feeling of something's wrong. And you're no longer trying to get rid of it. You're no longer running. But what happens in that moment? There's just a big acceptance. And acceptance is, at first, it's not a feeling. Acceptance is simply when you are in a storm, but you're in the eye of the storm. So there's all this chaos, but because you're not fighting against it, you're kind of like okay with it. And then you'll find out that you were the one creating that storm by constantly fighting against it, And then when you're just peacefully sitting in that eye of the storm, one day you'll see that, you never needed a method. You just needed to sit down and do vacation. And you're no longer someone trying to understand something, someone that has to carry this identity. You're just you just are. And then that's it, basically. To me, that's awakening. When there's no path anymore, no way anymore, no method anymore. Just simple being. Not a special kind of being, extraordinary being with special effects and lasers, just being. Not even looking for the Atman, Brahman. Those are just concepts. Then you're just being. And when the storm settles and you just recognize that life is really just sustaining life, and you don't have to carry this identity. And when you don't have an identity, you don't identify with something, with a name. You basically just are inseparable from everything. Only the identified mind says, this is the kitchen. When I'm not identified, I'm just no method, no need to name something. It's just this. So-called enlightened people are not constantly in an effort to see Brahman everywhere. Is it still there? Is it still there? It's just effortless acceptance of what is. Someone in the comments asked me, what do I think about the soul? I think soul is, again, a word to describe something. And I think when you are effortlessly sitting down and closing your eyes, which is called meditation. But sometimes I don't like the word meditation because it makes the mind feel like there's a practice there. But it's actually just effortless being. I think when you're just sitting down and you're closing your eyes and you fall in love with just naturally being, you'll see some, lights and colors, and sometimes it looks like they're real places, landscapes. And I think, when you're there, you truly forget that you are a body that's meditating right now. When you're there, you're there. And I think the one that's there, that's the one that's not a soul that's there. I mean, that's not a body that's there, it's the soul. That's what I call the soul. The one entity that is capable of seeing more than this physical plane. Yeah, the soul is accessible when you are no longer trying to understand it, when you're no longer trying to understand life, no longer trying to become something, no longer trying to find the Atman, no longer trying, just forget it all and just be. Vacation. And then when you're relaxing, there's like this opening up, and it feels like it's in the heart. It's in the heart. And that's what I call the soul. The one part of you that knows that it's not about becoming, it's about remembering. Not remembering with your mind, but just remembering that no matter what this mind thinks and feels, this basic being that you are is and has been always joyful